Hello everyone and welcome to Top of the Box. My name is Luke Pickles. I am the Dungeon Master for Eat, Quit and Survive, and you may also know me as Mr. Imp. And we are here to talk about some board games, and this time we are here with my board games, because I have many and they are here on the shelf. This is a very special Top of the Box because this week is my birthday week. On Monday this week is my birthday. Laura and I are going to go to Thirsty Meeples in Oxford to celebrate the fact that it's happening, and I've got a game day happening on the Monday with Ross, who's also part of the channel. We've seen both of them around, and we're going to play some games. So I thought today I'm going to do a top 10 of games that I would like to play. So let's drop in, let's see what's going on. And before we do, let's don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all the various things that you do on these things that will please the algorithm. And I don't know what to do with these sort of things. I'm just getting used to this. This is, first time talking to you guys. So, here we go. Let's get into it. Number 10. At number 10 is Ark Nova. This is the game that has been soaring to the top of the hot list and rising right the way up through the BGG Top 100. It has made it up to 7, I think, at time of recording. It is the zoo building, tile placement, card-driven game. I know I've seen a few playthroughs at this point and it looks intriguing. I've had a lot of comparisons made to Terraforming Mars, which I have down here. It's probably out of shot. I really like Terraforming Mars, so it's something that I've been interested in. If anything, because it's risen so highly and it's so highly regarded, it's something I want to give a go to. I've got a play coming up of it on Thursday at Manuscrew, Northampton. Check them out if you are in the area of Northampton. And part of the game group is going to teach me how to play and give it a go. So I might come back with some thoughts on that one later. There'll probably be some pictures of me playing it right up here. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. I've heard some good things. I've heard some not so good things. I like to make my own opinions. So let's find out how that goes. And we'll give it a play. So number 10, Ark Nova. At number 9 is Tales of the Arabian Nights. Now, this is a game that is story-driven, a lot like some of the games that I'm getting into at the moment. So that's Stuff Fables right here. Just out of shot, I think, is The Adventures of Robin Hood, which is a really good story-driven game. Near and Far there as well. These are games that I'm getting quite into, so I want to give a few more a try. And Tales of the Arabian Nights is described to me as being, focusing on all of that mythology and the stories that were told to the great Tsar that make up the 101 Arabian Nights stories. So I'm really intrigued to see how that plays out. It is really out of print though, so it is quite difficult to track down. I remember seeing someone post that they've managed to get it at Aircon last year, which I'm slightly gutted about because I would have loved to pick it up. So I'm hoping I can pick it up in a gaming cafe at some point in the not too distant future and give it a go, because it looks like a lot of fun. I like these story-driven games and finding out what options there are. I'm really looking forward to playing some more of those. So Tales of the Arabian Nights, that is something I really want to at least try at some point. There's a lot of interesting stories that come out of there. I don't necessarily want to just focus on the Western interests. I want to have a rounded experience. So if you've played it, let me know. Let me know what it's like. So that is number 9. Let's look at number 8. And number 8 is a game that was recommended to us in chat during one of our streams. It is Euphoria, Build a Better Dystopia. Now, this is a Stonemaier Games, and Stonemaier are one of my favourite publishers. I've got a few Stonemaier games here. I've got Libertalia, Winds of Galecrest. There's all sorts of Stonemaier games dotted around here. Wingspan is up there. Viticulture is behind me. That's going to be great audio, isn't it? Euphoria Build a Better Dystopia is a game that is a worker placement using dice, which is an interesting mechanic. I love worker placement. It's one of my favourite mechanisms. And it is all about trying to build the best dystopia. It's set in a dystopian future where things have gone a little bit awry. It's believed to be euphoric, and we're trying to conquer that area so it becomes our own dystopia. We gain the victory points and we take over that world. It's a really interesting sounding theme. I believe it's on Tabletopia, so I might give that a go at some point. I might find it in Thirsty Meeples. Who knows? It's something that's really intriguing. So I want to check it out, and thank you to whoever suggested it. So that's number 8. Let's see what 7's going to bring us. So for number 7, the question is being asked of what if The world was really started by aliens in early civilization. What would happen if that happened? So that is what Origins First Builder is going to be answering for us as part of our exploration in this game. It is another dice placement game where you are going to be using your dice to trigger certain actions to make your way up one of 3 temples, trying to make your way up as far of them as possible, improving your military, improving your civilization, generally that nice little crunchy civ builder type of game. That really intrigues me as a theme, and having it sort of set back there, seeing what happens with different technologies and an alternative past is quite interesting to me, and I've seen it being played a few times, Brothers Mirth included. They did a playthrough of it, which is part of their Gamehouse series, check it out if you haven't. And yeah, it's a really intriguing concept to me. I like the idea of the different dice placements. They get more powerful, they get used in different ways as they power up. And the overall end game scoring is based on the lowest of your two of the 3 temples. So you need to make sure you do a little bit of everything to bump up all of those tracks. So something I really want to give a go to. Origins First Builder at number 7. And number 6 is Korra Rise of an Empire. Now this is a game set in ancient Greece, which is one of my favourite themes. It is great historically for me. It just really intrigues me, and it is a civilization game where you are building up your civilization along different tracks, playing out dice. Again, there's another dice worker placement kind of game where you're using your dice to trigger certain actions and bump up those different tracks. And there's a lot of things going on in this game, and I like when a game has a little bit of meat on it. It's one of the yellow expert level games, which is really intriguing to me, so I'm looking forward to giving that a go. It fits in with the flavour of games that I really enjoy. You know, there's a lot of stuff happening, there's a lot of different strategies you can take. You've got to pivot sometimes depending on what dice you roll, and sometimes you've got to focus with it. So that really appeals to my type of gaming. So looking forward to giving that a go at some point. So that is number 6. Before we get to the next one, we are going to talk about the people who helped make this possible, and that is GameTee, who are wonderful providers of gaming gear and goods. You can go and check them out. They make some wonderful stuff, including cushions, t-shirts, candles, maps, all sorts of wonderful digital artwork, and a lot of things in between. So you can go and check out gametee.co.uk, and you can enter the code EatCritSurvive to get yourself 5% off. There is some wonderful stuff there that I've probably got flickering around up here. You can go check them out. They make some great stuff. And number 5 is the follow-up to the game that helped get me into the hobby. A game about travelling through Japan and having just the best holiday. That game was Tokaido. You might be able to see it up there. And this was a game that really spoke to me when I first got into the hobby. It was the first one that Ross introduced me to as a game to try and explore and see a whole new world of board gaming. And its follow-up is Namichi. Now, Namichi takes up where Tokaido left off, in that we are still exploring Japan, but instead of being holiday makers, trying to have the best holiday we can have by meeting different people, eating the food, all that fun stuff that you do when you're on holiday, Namichi has us be fishermen, or fisher people, where we are just going through the southern Japanese archipelago and capturing fish, upgrading our stuff, capturing crustaceans, generally looking at the aquatic zoology, and there's a lot of things that are intriguing to me about that. Japan is a place that's very near and dear to my heart. It's a place my grandfather loved. I've never been, but playing Tokaido has really invigorated that. So I'm really excited to see how Namichi will expand on the Tokaido universe. So that is my number 5, Namichi. At number 4 is a board game about one of my great loves outside of the hobby. I love skiing. Skiing, I think, is a fantastic way of just spending a day going down the slopes. You can just tire yourself out, go as fast as you like, slow as you like. You can just enjoy the beautiful scenery. It's fantastic. I love skiing. It's been a while since I've been. I would love to go soon. I'm hoping to take Laura at some point because she's never been, and I'm really excited to take her there. But the game that is about skiing is this one right here, Skull Canyon Ski Fest by Pandasaurus Games. It is a game about skiing, about becoming the best skier. You are skiing down different routes, and then you have the après ski at the end of the day where you can improve your gear and take some extra bonus actions as part of it. And as a general aside, there is a Yeti that you need to be careful of. Because of course there is. It's been described as something similar to Ticket to Ride, which is great. It's a good little intro game, but obviously for a slightly smaller package, you are doing set collecting to complete various routes, and that is something that it harkens back to Ticket to Ride. It's a game that helped get a lot of people into the hobby. So having that with the theming, it seems like a really interesting idea. There's a little bit more going on within Skull Canyon, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out. So that is my number 4. At number 3 is Terraforming Mars Aries Expedition. Now, this is the smaller version of Terraforming Mars, which is a game that I have invested quite heavily into. I have the 3D printed version just tucked down there in the bottom. It is a wonderful game. I really enjoy it. It's the sort of engine building, civilization building again. There's a lot of civilization buildings on this list. But you are terraforming Mars. And Terraforming Mars Aries Expedition is the later version of it. It's a slightly smaller version. There's less chaos happening within there in terms of the cards. And you have an action selection process, much like you do in Race for the Galaxy. So I'm really interested to see how that compares with Terraforming Mars mechanics and seeing how that shrinks down and how it will work out. It's all about getting those terraforming points and building up the oxygen, building up the water, making sure that this world is habitable. Because let's be honest, we're kind of ruining Earth. So, we've got to make sure Mars is habitable at some point. So why not give it a go in Terraforming Mars Aries Expedition? So that is my number 3. Number 2 is a huge roll and write game from Garfield Games, and that is Hadrian's Wall. This is as heavy as a brick from Hadrian's Wall. This is a game where you are building a wall. You're building Hadrian's Wall in the 100 BC? No, AD. Where the Roman Emperor has told us we need to build a wall, so we are taking on that role. And it is a big, chunky roll and write. It's a really interesting concept. It's a really interesting theme. I'm looking forward to seeing how Garfield Games have put things together. I really love Garfield Games' stuff. I've got a few of their games tucked up at the back there. Big fan of the West Kingdom series and the North Sea. And I'm really looking forward to seeing when Wayfarers of the South Tigris comes out. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening with Garfield Games that I'm really into. And Hadrian's Wall seems like the sort of thing that I'd be down for. Love a roll and write. You'll have seen us play on stream before. We played, where is it? Dinosaur Island, the roll and write there. I probably fell off the screen there, but never mind. Yes, I like a big, crunchy roll and write. It's something a little bit different. I love Cartographers. It's one of my favourite games. And yeah, having this theming on top of everything else is really good. I picked this up in a maths trade, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out. So that is my number 2. Let's see what is at number 1. At number 1 is the former number 1 of the Board Game Geek's top games list, and that is Pandemic Legacy Season 1. I have a real interest in playing a legacy game from start to finish. I mean, I have My City is down here, and that is a smaller legacy game with a sort of semi-replayability replay option for it, of the non-legacy version, and I really want to go into a Pandemic Legacy and just explore it. For those who don't know, Pandemic Legacy is the long campaign version of Pandemic, the game where you are trying to fight against diseases and seeing how they play out. And I really would like to see how the Legacy version plays out. I've heard a lot of good things about the story in general and how this game really brought the genre forward. I know Risk Legacy was a thing beforehand, but I think Pandemic Legacy was something that really kickstarted people's interest in the Legacy idea. And yeah, I like playing D&D, so having a campaign game where I can get together with the same bunch of people and play out different scenarios over the course of a year in-game, 12 sessions, 12 to 24, depending on how well we do, is really appealing to me. I love nothing more than sitting down with friends and playing games. So that's my birthday wish, let's say, is to have a copy of Pandemic Legacy Season 1 and play it from start to finish. Let's see if that will work out. That's my number one. So that is my top 10 games that I would like to play as part of my birthday celebrations. Realistically, that last one probably not going to be happening on my birthday, but that is something that I'm going to try and do over the course of the next year or so, is try and get that together. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. If you like this video, please let me know. Do you have a top 10 list of games that you would like to play? Are there a bunch of games out there that you have really wanted to get to the table and just haven't for whatever reason? Let me know in the comments below. Like this, subscribe, share it around, and check out some of our other stuff. You can see us on twitch.tv/eatcritsurvive on Wednesdays and Fridays, where we're going to be streaming some more board games. So check us out over there. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye! Hello and welcome to Top of the Box, where I'm going to be talking to you about 10 different board games. My name is Luke Pickles. I am the Dungeon Master for Eat, Crit and Survive. And I'm also part Mr. Imp. Part Mr. Imp? No, that's not a thing.